Yep, I just wanted to talk to everybody, I guess, for a minute as far as everything that's going on. I had made a little video after making my post, saying that I seen y'all post or whatever, and, just saying that, this is, they fighting for their survival, so they really don't care, how we feel or anything like that. And the video I did, I can't lie, shit, it was coming from a place of anger or whatever. And I don't know, I just wanted to redo the video and I guess just speak and give myself time to calm down, and so that way I won't be speaking from a place of anger or whatever. Um, to me, stuff like that is important because no matter how mad and pissed off we is, we got to be able to keep a level head as well. The more level our head is, the more we able to think and make, rational decisions or whatever. But I guess just to address some of the stuff that's going on, and some of the things we need to be doing. First of all, I ain't saying that it got to be violent and we got to do this and do that or whatever. But one thing we can't do is stop. We done started this, or it has been started. So it's got to be seen through to the end. We can't step back from where we at, because slowly but surely, and here day after day, it appears that small changes are happening, and those small changes and ripples are going to go out and make bigger ripple effects in the world and in society that could possibly have us in better situations a few years down the road or whatever. But we got to let them have they stuff instead of us getting so wrapped up and involved in everything that they got going on. I like we got to have their permission or they approval, for us to start moving, mobilizing, and doing things. That brother lost his life by that officer having his knee on his neck or whatever. And all kind of police have got on social media saying how wrong it was. And we agree with them because it was wrong. But when you think about it, that's the first thing that the police do when they get you on the ground is put their knee in your back, your neck, or whatever. And if you put your knee in my back, whether it's on my neck, whether it's on my back, whether it's in the small of my back or whatever, wherever you place your knee at, that's going to change my breathing. That's going to change the way I breathe just because you placed your knee on my body. And especially if it's being done aggressively, that's definitely going to change my breathing pattern and the way that I breathe and the air that is being allowed, to go in and out my body. So I'm not saying that these police didn't, speak their mind or whatever, but I'm just saying, even in the videos where people have lived and haven't lost their lives, it's always a knee in the neck, back, or something like that. But the point is, they applying pressure to your body to keep you from moving or to so-called sustain you, so they can do the arrest or this, that, or whatever. And if a person is, I guess, resisting arrest, then I guess you got to do, what you got to do to try to calm down or this, that, whatever. But if a person is cooperating with you, there's no reason for your knee to be in their neck. There's no reason for your knee to be in their back, around their kidney area, or anything like that. That's gonna cause anybody. I don't care whether you got health conditions. You could be healthy and not have any health conditions at all. That's gonna change your. That's gonna change up your breathing pattern and the way you breathe. So a part of this, everything we doing, they I guess supposedly outlawed the choking and stuff. It might have just been in New York as far as the Eric Garner case or whatever. So we need to get stuff like that outlawed all around the country, all around the world. Shouldn't be no choking citizens, and shouldn't be no putting your knees in their neck and in their back and this, that, and whatever. And it definitely shouldn't be no coming to citizens with violence or anything like that, because you're supposed to be out here protecting and serving. And you get mad at citizens because you saying that, you just trying to go home. It's a dangerous job. Well, number one, you chose that dangerous job. Didn't nobody put no gun to your head and make you be a police. You became a police on your own choice, or this, that, or whatever. So you knew the violence, you knew everything that came along with it, or this, that, or whatever. That's like a fireman complaining about having to run in the house to stop a fire or to save somebody, this, that, whatever. That's what you signed up for. And I'm not saying that because you're a police officer, you shouldn't be safe out here in these streets. You should be. But just as well as you should be, we should be safer. We should be safer than you are, because your job is the one that's dangerous. So when you pull me over and you stop me, I shouldn't feel threatened. I shouldn't feel in danger for my life. I should feel like that this is somebody that's supposed to be trying to help neutralize a situation or this, that, or whatever. I shouldn't feel like that I'm about to lose my life just because a police officer stopped me or whatever. Doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. So, I mean, I can't tell you what to do. I just know we need to keep pushing. We need to do some stuff here in Wetumpka, and it can be peaceful. I'm not trying to do anything violent. If you know me, you know I'm not a violent person. So, that's not the way that I'm trying to do it or the way that I want to do it or whatever. But people have to understand the violence that has happened because we just tired. We want y'all to understand. We don't want to hurt y'all. We don't want to kill y'all or none of the above. But we want y'all to understand what's going on. We want y'all to understand what we've been going through. And you can't say if you got any kind of conscience or feelings or whatever, you can't say that you hadn't seen it all these years. And you can't say that it ain't been going on, because it have. And I love my black police officers, but I need y'all to start standing up too, because y'all riding with these people every day that's doing the harassing and placing the drugs on people and all this stuff. You witnessing it. And if you're a black man, I'm pretty sure you might have joined the police and to make a change. I don't know if it was something you seen in your neighborhood. I don't know if it was something you seen. You might even seen a racist cop do something and decide that you wanted to be a police officer to try to neutralize stuff like that on the streets, to be a better example as far as a police officer and everything. But if you out here every day riding around with these police officers, witnessing and upholding the injustices that they are doing, how can you go home at night and look at your wife, your child, or this, that, or whatever, knowing that you done let somebody that look just like them be harassed, mistreated? That same thing, that could be your child, that could be your wife, that could be your mama, or whatever, that you watching just being mistreated by this cop. You know what I'm saying? That's not right, man. I hope that's not why you became a police officer. I hope that's not why you became a police officer. The same thing can happen to your family member. When your son your daughter, your wife, your mama walking around, they don't have no tattoo on their forehead that says I'm a police child, I'm a black police wife, this, that, or whatever. So they are just as much of a target as anybody else out here. So when you seeing these white officers doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, if it's hard for you to connect to it, look at it like that's your son. Look at it like that's your mama, your brother, or this, that, or whatever. Cause y'all gotta start saying something too. Because like I said, y'all are a part of that system. So that means that you have to help dismantle the dysfunctional part of that system. At least try. Y'all can't just be walking around there, brotherhood, the boys in blue, and don't want to say nothing. And then y'all want to come out here to the streets and want the citizens to tell you everything, and want the citizens to speak up on everything, and you won't even speak up. We got our kids going to fight in these militaries, going to fight in these wars for a country that has no respect for them, no love for them, don't care whether they live or die. So, I advise you, I can't tell you what to do. But if I had a child that was in the military right now, I would be telling my child, hey, after your time up, maybe we need to try to start looking into something else for you to do. We shouldn't be helping them fight wars, and we can't even be respected in our own country. We shouldn't be fighting their wars. They turning our kids into killers. That's why I don't really say congratulations. I mean, when y'all get on here on Facebook or whatever, posting your kids and and they military stuff or whatever, I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm just saying it's hard for me to say congratulations, because your child going somewhere that they may not make it back from. So that's why it's kind of hard for me to say congratulations. It's not that they didn't accomplish anything. It's just that if you post them and I tell you congratulations today, and a week or two later, the car pull up in front of your house and the military men get out walking on to your door with that flag and knocking on your door, letting you know that, something happened to your child didn't make it. That congratulations don't mean nothing then. That makes me feel like I almost congratulated you on your child death or whatever. So, so I don't say congratulations then. But when you post a pic of your child coming back from tour, or your child making it back home, and you standing in the airport hugging your child or this, that, or whatever like that, that's when I say congratulations. That's when I say congratulations, because your child made it through. Your child survived. And that definitely deserves a congratulations. Because when you go to war, you definitely are not guaranteed to come back. So we've been looking at stuff wrong, to me, in my eyes. This country just got us all mixed up. Your child got to be, and I'm not saying that you want your child smoking or drinking, but just think about it. Your child got to be 21 before he or she can buy a cigarette, before he or she can buy a beer. Your child got to be 21. But in high school, your child can sign a contract at 16, 17, 18 years old to go into the military, where a gun will be placed in their hand and they will be trained to kill at 16, 17, and 18. But they can't buy a beer a cigarette, but they can kill. They tell you the reason that they having to wait to 21 is because they are not mature enough to make the decision as far as drinking and smoking during their teenage years. They mind ain't developed enough for them to pick a choice between alcohol and cigarettes, but they mind is developed enough for them to kill. Really? They mind is developed enough for them to kill at 16, 17, and 18, but they can't go in the store and purchase cigarettes or tobacco products or alcohol because they're too young and not capable of making a rational decision at that age when it comes to those things. So how can they make if they can't make a rational decision on that, how can they make a rational decision as far as killing somebody? So, this the kind of stuff that we've been going along with, the kind of stuff that we ain't even, I guess, really been giving a whole lot of thought to. That's why everything happened for a reason. This pandemic thing and all this stuff, everything happened for a reason. And all this stuff is happening and going on so you can get better in touch with yourself and get better in touch with the God that's inside of you. Because at the end of the day, like I keep telling y'all don't have to believe what I believe or see it the way I see it. But we the one that's supposed to be changing this. We always hollering about God, Jesus, this, that, whatever. We are the ones that's supposed to be changing what's going on. Just like, I guess, we creating an uprise now or this, that, whatever. But my point is, it's our job to fix it. The Creator put us down here to make it right. And we keep on looking around for the Creator and asking for the Creator, asking for all this help. When you have your help, it was given to you when you was born. But if we don't go inside and do the work, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And we got a lot of things to do as black people. But one thing about it, we can get all of it done. But we got to do it one thing at a time. Everybody hollering. I know people, the black on black crime and the 5 shootings and stuff that happened in Montgomery. And yeah, it was sad. It was unfortunate and unnecessary, especially during this time when we should truly be trying to come together. But we can't make but one tackle at a time. So police brutality is what we working with now. So, let's deal with this first. And then after we deal with this, we can deal with the black on black crime or get some, because to me, when it comes to the black on black crime, we see no value in each other. If I don't see no value when I look in the mirror, if I see no value when I look in the mirror, I definitely ain't gonna see no value when I look at you. So if I don't see no value when I look in the mirror, and I don't see no value when I look at you, and the world and society have been telling me that ain't now one of us shit, then that makes it a whole lot easier for me to pull that trigger. In my mind, in my perspective. But I don't know, because I ain't never pulled no trigger. But I'm just thinking, trying to understand how it's so easy for a black man to pull a trigger on another black man. And I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying? But that's just my take on it. That's just my take on it. And also, we got to get some respect back. Because I know I'm 41 years old, finna be 42 this year. And my mama is not here. She passed and, she's gone or whatever. And my father, he's still here with me. But I'm saying, I'm a grown ass man. I'm 41 years old. But when I go out here in these streets, whether I'm partying, whatever, I always think about, damn, if you was to be out here doing something crazy, if you was to be out here and get caught up in something crazy, and then somebody got to call your mama or your dad and talking about Travis out here doing this, Travis out here doing that, or Travis done did this. I always thought about, man, how would my mom and daddy feel, man? How would my mom and daddy feel to have to get that phone call, at 2, 3, 4 in the morning saying, they child done killed somebody, they child done robbed somebody, they child done, done any of that. And, I think, things like that, me having those thoughts and me caring, you know what I'm saying, how my mom and dad was going to feel or whatever. I ain't saying I ain't never got in no trouble because, I have gotten my share of trouble. But I could have gotten into way more stuff. And I mean way more stuff than what I did actually get involved and wrapped up in. So, you know what I'm saying? As far as the kids out there, just your mama and daddy, man, they just trying to tell you right. They ain't trying to hurt you or none of the above. Your mom and dad are trying to guide you. But I think that you should have a certain amount of friendship, with your kids. Y'all should be able to laugh and joke and things like that and stuff like that, and show your kids that you willing to laugh and joke with them. Quit being so serious all the time, with your kids or whatever. Play with them. You know what I'm saying? Have fun with them. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Make them feel, I guess a little more at ease, when it comes to talking to you or expressing themselves or saying the stuff that they gotta say. Because you know what I'm saying, these kids, they matter. They got a voice. And their voice need to be heard too. You know what I'm saying? Just because they a child or just because they young or this, that, or whatever, don't mean that their voice don't need to be heard. Because whether we believe it or not, these children watch and see everything. And they got more wisdom than we sometimes give them credit for. So, it's some more stuff I want to say, but I mean, I'm just going to keep it at this point. But I know if y'all want to do anything around here, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? In 2016, me, Step, and T Golden, we was out there at the courthouse, and T Golden daughter, we was out there. I mean, we was the only ones out there that day or at that time, when that happened or whatever. But and we was fine with being the only ones out there or whatever. But we can do stuff like that again, on a bigger scale and stuff around here. The election and stuff coming up. District 2. Come on now, District 2. Willis done promised a lot of things to District 2. And District 2 only really see Willis when it's time to be elected again. So I hope District 2 got their thinking caps on this election. Because as black people here in Wetumpka, on a large scale, there's been things that's been kept away, taken away, that shouldn't have been. It should be stuff around here, if you want to call them inner city kids, it should be stuff around here for these kids to do. All kids matter. And all kids deserve the chance at a productive future. All kids in Wetumpka, not just certain kids. These kids need somewhere to play. They need somewhere to de-stress. They need something to occupy their time. Idle mind, devil workshop, which means they ain't got nothing to do but get in trouble. Get these kids around here something to do, man. Quit just looking out for certain kids or just your kids. We got to start running for city council and all the above around here. It's time for Wetumpka to change for the better. Let's make it happen.